Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about some of the dons, DONTS, some of the things we should not do. Things that when we say them, they might look like we are concerned, they might look like we are being interested and we are being caring, but for autistic parents that can be really disturbing, it can be offensive, and it also shows that you are misguided and don't have enough information about autism. So if we avoid saying those things, we actually will be doing that person a very big favor in terms of their mental health, in terms of not making them cringe back into their shell and not feel comfortable when they are around us. You don't want to be considered as a safe person or safe space for somebody or a safe environment, yet you are asking or you are passing comments that are offensive about autism. So the first comment that I want to talk about is the parenting style. The parenting style. Don't really comment on the parenting style unless you have a solid relationship, unless you are that close to be able to comment on their parenting style, unless you know you have a background of how capable they are to be doing better than they are already doing. But if you have just met them or you have just come across them maybe for a few hours, or it's an event, it's your first time to meet them, avoid commenting about the parenting style to parents, even parents of not special needs children. If it's somebody you've just met, avoid making comments about their parenting style if you don't really know why they are parenting their child the way they are doing. Because that way, you make them inferior and you also make them feel like, you are just not capable to raise this child. I remember there were incidences in my early stages of my son's diagnosis where people would pass comments, and these are people who had no idea what I was going through. At that stage, some of the comments were coming when I was still processing the diagnosis myself. I was still in denial, and people would come and they were commenting. One comment that really stuck with me was about I became pregnant while I was still dealing with my son's early diagnosis. And a lot of people would pass comments on why I am pregnant and I'm still struggling with this child who has got special needs. And I learned from that that yes, people were meaning well, but these are people that I just met who had no idea of what I was dealing with. It could be maybe you're working in a supermarket and all you see is a mom with 3 kids that can all fit in a shopping trolley, and you're wondering, hey girl, why would you give birth while your other child is still struggling with speech? Why would you give birth while your child is still struggling with A, B, C, D, with these milestones? Girl, what if I tell you that it's also beyond my control? Don't you know people who can give birth while they are on contraceptive? Don't you know people who could give birth while they are on the most reliable contraceptive? So I remember I would just go back home, and that even made me, I'm a very social person. I love interacting with people. I love meeting new people. I love having conversation with people. I love being in social settings. But those comments, every time at that point in my life, they made me sit down and think, do I really need to go and socialize with people? Do I really need to go? Do I have to go? So I'm just saying, avoid commenting on parenting style if you are not aware, if you are not really close to that person. Things like telling children. I've seen a lot of comments coming from some pastors, some church leaders, some TV personalities commenting like, you mustn't let your kids run around when you visit people. You mustn't let your children do this. I understand that we do have a responsibility, even as special needs parents. We have a responsibility to educate our children. We have a responsibility to teach them manners when we visit people, on what to do. Do not open the fridges, do not open cupboards, do not run around, do not jump on the couches, on the dining table. All that we do teach them. But you know what? Sometimes circumstances force us to come and visit you. Sometimes circumstances force us. We don't even want to visit people because we know our children, this is their nature. So it's not like a bad parenting style. It's just that my child is autistic. It's just that my child has got ADHD. I can only do so much to control them, but sometimes it's beyond my control. So we might need to tone down in terms of wanting to tell people, or in terms of commenting on the parenting style. Instead, approach me and find out why the child is doing that. And you might, when you now talk to me, you will realize it's actually beyond my control. I've also tried. I know there are some parents who don't really mind if their children are running around. They don't mind and they won't even control them. But some of the children, it's because they have special needs. And their moms are just out there looking for some fresh air. Their moms are just out there trying to recharge their social battery. So it's not every time that you have to give advice. It's not every time that you have to comment about parenting style. Find out why. If you don't understand why kids would run around in a social setting, if you don't understand why kids would just behave in a different manner, sometimes it's because you don't know about special needs conditions. If you understood about those conditions, you will not judge the parent. You will actually be inclined to understanding them, to understanding why the child is behaving like that. Be it in a church setting, be it in a party setting, be it in a formal setting. Instead, develop interest to find out why the children are behaving like that before you pass comments on our parenting style. The other thing I want to talk about to avoid to say or do to parents of autistic children is avoid making assumptions about feelings or needs of these individuals. Avoid making assumptions based on their autism, because you have to ask them directly about their preferences or concerns. Ask them. Avoid making assumptions. Don't just assume because Chris is autistic, so it's obvious things are gonna be like this. Avoid making assumptions. Ask them the same way you would ask other children about their preferences on what is happening at that particular time. Involve them also and let them make their own executive decision. If they cannot make, then we take it from there. But allow them to be themselves. Allow them to be in charge of what is happening by deciding what they want to take, be it it's food. If it's a buffet, give them an option to point at what they want. Don't then just say, we know this one, they struggle with eating food that is not ground. Maybe they want thickened foods. Maybe they want, unless you know it can jeopardize their health conditions. Other than that, avoid making assumptions based on the autism diagnosis. The third thing I want to comment about is do not use literal or figurative language. Do not use overly literal or figurative language, because that might cause confusion. Just be straightforward and clear in your communication. When you are communicating with individuals on the autism spectrum, when you are communicating, just be clear. Use minimum to no figurative expressions. Just be straightforward in your communicating. Just say what you want in a very literal way, not figurative, because they don't understand, and most of them do not really manage to understand what you are communicating if you use figurative language. Then number 4, refrain from commenting on their autistic traits or behaviors. Refrain from commenting about that. That is one thing we need to learn. We need to refrain from commenting. Let's say they are stimming. Autistic individuals are known for stimming a lot, and that's one thing you might see in any setting. You might see them stimming. I did a video on autistic stimming. If you scroll down on my YouTube channel, you will find, and I made a detailed description of what autistic stimming is. So if you go down my YouTube channel, you will come across that video, and it explains what stimming is. Avoid commenting on them when they are presenting their autistic traits, whether they are flapping their hands, whether they are humming, whether they are masking, whether they are having a meltdown. Avoid making comments about that behavior. In fact, what you need to do, remain calm and find out how best you can help them. If it's a meltdown, find out from their primary caregiver or the one who is supporting them, the parent, the mom, the dad. Find out how best you can support them so that that meltdown lasts the shortest possible time. Avoid making comments about their autistic traits. Number 5, don't offer unsolicited advice. Unless you are asked for advice, do not offer. Oh, unless you know, again, based on your relationship, unless you know this person or this caregiver, this parent, they know nothing, they don't know anything about the advice you want to give them, and you know that if you don't tell them, you might not be doing justice, then you can give advice. But avoid giving unsolicited advice, because most of the time, if you give that advice on how they should parent because of their autism, that would just fall on deaf ears. First of all, because they did not ask for that advice. Secondly, maybe you might not be the right person to give that advice based on your relationship. Number 6, something to avoid. Avoid minimizing their challenges. When you're talking to autistic individuals, avoid minimizing their challenges. Avoid saying, that's not even much. You do know how much I struggle. If somebody explaining to you how much they struggle, how much I've struggled sleeping, how much I've struggled to eat of late because of my son, because of supporting my son, helping my son to meet his needs, and then you come and say, but you must actually be grateful because of 1, 2, 3 things. In as much as that might be true, but you need to be careful that you don't put it across in a way that is minimizing my challenges. Yes, I know it's very important for me to count my blessings, but do not present that in a manner that, in other words, I must just focus on counting my blessings. I mustn't then attend to my challenges, because me focusing on my blessings is not going to eradicate the challenges that I'm facing. So minimizing my challenges will just make you come across as a very insensitive person. It will just make you come across as a very inconsiderate person. You don't really care. You will just come across to the parent or to the caregivers or to the autistic individual as a inconsiderate person because you don't care how I'm feeling. Validate my challenges first and then help me see the other things. Help me focus on what can lighten up my mood, or help me focus on what I can do to improve and to be in a better position to tackle my challenges. Number 7, which is the last thing I want to talk about, last but not least, don't ask intrusive questions about their autism or parenting choices unless they are comfortable sharing. Do not ask intrusive questions. Know your place in people's lives. Know where to draw the boundary. And if they are not comfortable, I've met so many parents who are raising their children on the autism spectrum, but they don't want the public to know. You have to respect that. You have to respect that. Some prefer not to even talk about it to their own families. You have to respect that. So if you can see that this particular person, they are aware that their child is autistic, they are aware that they have to support and they are capable, you support them in where they need support. But where they need privacy, leave them like that. Don't be intrusive. Don't be pushing boundaries. Don't be nosy, because you can end up being regarded as a nosy person for wanting more information than they are prepared to share. Let them share information with you, that which they are prepared to share with you. The one they are not prepared to share with you, do not push it. Instead, focus on understanding. Understand them. Ask how you can support them. Engage in an open, respectful communication. Show interest in developing a relationship where you will understand them much better, where you will understand them much more better so that you can keep supporting them. And always show that you really care. Show them that you really care. Show them that you are invested in supporting them. And eventually, maybe they will let their guard down and allow you in their space. Because what I've learned in life is if you force people to give you information, either they're going to give you inadequate information or they're going to give you not correct information if you force them. But if you develop a relationship where they are relaxed, they are comfortable, they trust you, they are going to share with you the information genuinely, and they know that by sharing you, they will also benefit in return. They know you are not just milking information from them. You are not just there to gather information. They know if I give you this information, you are definitely going to help me. So these are some of the things I thought let's talk about in this video, because sometimes when we are interacting with autistic parents, autistic individuals, we then forget that our worlds are completely different. My world was not the same before I gave birth to my autistic child as it is now. It's completely different. And the way I understand life now is to understand that people need their space the same way you need your space. They might be vulnerable. They might be wanting your help, your support, but still allow room for them to give you the opportunity to support them. Have clear communication and remember what to avoid saying. Remember what to say and what not to say. All the best. And I want to thank you for really asking all those questions, for doing all that. Somehow, most people who do that, actually, they mean well. We overstep boundaries. That means you are already making an effort to reach out to someone. So I really want to appreciate you for do that, and I want to commend you. Now that you know some of the things you can avoid doing or you can improve, continue doing that, continue supporting. I tell you, parents of children with special needs, we need you more than you even think. Sometimes we don't even say how much we need help. We don't even say how much we need help. So thank you for reaching out. Please do reach out to a parent, reach out to an individual on the autism spectrum. Just let them know that you really care. Let them know that you care. And thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what are the things you think people should avoid saying to autistic individuals, to parents raising autistic individuals. Please do let me know in the comment section. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. And remember to subscribe, remember to comment and share. Who knows? Maybe somebody, as you share this video, they're going to come across it from your timeline and they will benefit from what we are discussing here. And till next time, have a fantastic day.